the hand splotches and red spots that Donald John Trump had in his hands, and I speculated that this is one of the manifestations, in some cases, someone having venereal disease. Don't know. Speculated. Could be any number of things. No, frankly, no one picked up on it very much. Also pointed out, again, and I'll point out again, on the 17th of January, 2017, Trump sent Keith Schiller and two other goons into his internist office, a man by the name of Dr. Bornstein in Manhattan, and confiscated his medical.
Donald Trump just got verbally steamrolled by James Carville, and it wasn't even close. Imagine a political roast dripping with Louisiana heat. Carville brought the spice, and Trump's ego came out extra crispy. This wasn't shade. Carville blocked out the sun and handed Trump a flashlight. If you thought Trump had thick skin, Carville sliced through it like butter. Honestly, this takedown was so entertaining it deserved its own popcorn stand.
Here in South Louisiana, you mostly hear it from black people, and they'll say, that boy ain't right. If somebody's obviously having some kind of a personality disorder. Well, when you look at Trump, the first thing that comes to your mind is, that boy ain't right. And we've seen so much, and we've gotten so hard, all of the crazy things that he does. We've kind of become immune to all this fat who doesn't sleep at night, who eats nothing but hamburgers and crap. Sherry, a secondary syphilis, I'm really not.
The thing about James Carville is he doesn't just talk politics. He shreds it like a messy crawfish boil and flings the shells right at your face. He's not some polished, poll-tested Democrat rehearsing lines in the mirror. Carville is the swamp creature Trump warns everyone about. Except this one wears an LSU cap, speaks with the edge of a Cajun blade, and has zero tolerance for nonsense.
The winter of the year 2017, there was something about Trump's health that he didn't want anybody to know. And, you know, when you have health issues, they tend to crop up and you can hide them for so long. And now his whole hands and everything is nothing but makeup, so you can't see all of the splotches. And of course, we've been treating it and trying to hide his ankles because his ankles are not as big as his jackass. And Trump knows this, all right? The one thing he has is kind of...
If you're enjoying this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Now, when Carville turned his sights on Donald Trump, it wasn't commentary. It was a public execution by sarcasm. And it landed because Trump isn't used to this style of fight. He's used to the buttoned-up types, the pundits who throw soft punches and then apologize for being too mean. Carville doesn't play that game. And if you check Drudge Report,
and I think it'll still be up. There's a story that talks about Trump having hand cuts, and you can link to it. They don't look like cuts to me. They look like sores. And I've asked a number of MDs what medical condition manifests itself through hand sores, and the answer is immediate and unanimous: secondary syphilis. All right, I think there's a good chance this man has the clap. And I'm not being particularly secretive about it. I am texting the photo. You can link to it. It's in some operation called the Daily Mail. It's some British thing. It's probably...
Carville is the total opposite. He sizes you up, drops a one-liner that feels like it came straight out of a New Orleans bar fight, and leaves you gutted. Trump, meanwhile, has built his brand on being untouchable, the big man with the gold-plated name and crowds chanting his slogans like a college fight song.
It's like, I'm mad at you, you mad at me, you didn't say this. I'm talking about madness like King George III kind of madness. And it could be a combination of being a fat fucking slob, which of course he is. It could be that he can't sleep at night because his beached whale body can't allow the circulation it needs. I don't know, I'm not a sleep specialist or a medical doctor. But I think we should revisit the possibility of a civil.
Carville's dismantling hit differently because it skipped the respectability politics. It was raw, unfiltered, and almost unfair, like watching a heavyweight champ trip over his shoelaces before the fight. The brilliance was in what Carville didn't do: no tired orange jokes, no recycled late-night material. He went right for the image Trump protects most: strength, competence, dominance. He didn't need footnotes or stats, just the obvious. It was like exposing a magician whose trick only works because his pockets have holes. Once the crowd sees it, the illusion dies. Houdini turns into your uncle fumbling through a barbecue card trick.
And he knows he's in trouble. His polling numbers are deteriorating. Go look at any firm you want, pick out the better polls. You can see it over a period of time. They're not going to stop deteriorating. The economic numbers, all right, who's the economic forecaster? Very few of us, but I don't think anybody sees very much good news coming in the American economy in the next couple of years. Might not. Hopefully it won't be as bad as some people think, but it's not going to be very good. There's no evidence that they're getting anything.
And then came the legal circus. Trump's turned his courthouse appearances into a cross between a campaign rally and a Broadway show, complete with the slow walk, the rehearsed wave, the "I'm both victim and star" scowl. Carville, with that dry Louisiana drawl, didn't treat it like a constitutional crisis. He played it like slapstick comedy. He made Trump's legal battle sound less like history and more like the 5th season of a bad reality show that should have been canceled years ago, but keeps getting renewed because the audience can't look away from the train wreck. What made it sting even more was Carville's fearlessness. Most politicians tiptoe around Trump like he's a dragon guarding treasure. Carville stripped the myth down and painted him as fragile, needy, desperate for adoration. The strongman suddenly looked less like a titan and more like a guy yelling at pigeons in the park while everyone just walks past.
Back. Well, Professor Carville in his classroom, we've come into you again, and we're going to start with maybe the most offensive, odious topic that we can start with, but fortunately, or unfortunately, it's in the news, and it's a story that we here at James Carville Classroom have been covering for a long time, and that is the simple fact of the matter that Donald Trump stinks. And we have to, as a group of people, we got to come together and understand that. The evidence is over.
That's Carville's edge. No charts, no PowerPoints, no think tank jargon. He talks like the guy at the end of the bar who's seen too much, knows too much, and couldn't care less if you're offended. That kind of authenticity cuts through the noise. When he says Trump's a mess, it doesn't land like a partisan jab, it hits like your grandfather explaining why your cousin keeps wrecking his car. Simple. Direct. Irrefutable. And that's exactly why Trump looked rattled. He's used to branding opponents, reducing them to nicknames. But what do you do with Carville? You can't outshock him. You can't intimidate him. You definitely can't out-insult him. Trump relies on fear to hold ground. Carville popped that balloon with one jab. The irony? Carville doesn't even try to be modern or polished. He's old school, a throwback to when political strategists were as ruthless as mob bosses, and twice as entertaining.
Impact on voters? Do they not care, or is this really just all about Kamala Harris at this point?
I think it's a lot about Vice President Harris. I think Trump is a totally known entity. I think tomorrow night is very critical. By the way, I hate to say this, but I expect her to do very well. I think she is very well prepared. I think she's coming with an A game, and I don't know what's going on in Trump world, but he better tighten his chin strap because she's coming after him, and she's gonna explain herself, and I think she'll do quite.
Tried his policy, his hypocrisy, his criminality, predatory attitude toward women, his deadbeat, didn't pay bills. My favorite, I got to say. So he's going to say if Russia can bomb somebody that doesn't pay the NATO bill, this guy can't pay cash with a cosigner. Okay, he didn't pay anybody in his life.
He doesn't pay his plumber. He doesn't pay anybody.
And I think that by mocking him in making fun of him over a period of time that a lot of his supporters are vested in him as this